Good evening. We are live from lockdown. First of all, I want to say sorry there was no live stream last night. I just needed a night off, if I'm honest. I wanted to do some video games. I wanted to do some playing. And I think I just needed to recharge my mind, really, recharge my batteries and get it so that each guest has guests have a fair chance. So if I'd have come on last night and I was a little bit tired, it may not have flowed as good as it did. I mean, and after having like Raz and Jay on the night before, who was superb, I didn't want to do anyone any misjustice. I have put a few feelers out, so there is a few more guests, a few more plans. I'm planning on having Sunday night off and Wednesday again next week, so I'll just have a couple of days off in the week, split it up. I am still doing my championship manager every day for an hour and a half. So evening Jace, evening Dunk, evening Craig. Craig, I enjoyed your live stream of Golden Axe as well, man. You did really well. I did nowhere near as good as that. So you've all seen enough of me this week, but I've gone searching high and low, and we've got a good couple of guests tonight, a couple of funny guys, a couple of nice guys, a couple of very enthusiastic guys. So to quote Big Mike, as always, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my first guest for you this evening. That's Mr. Sega Zombie, Scott Brand. Say hello, introduce yourself, Scott.
Evening, gents, and it's Sega Zombie here. Been blasting loads of Sega, loads of Mega Drive, and yeah, how is everyone?
I think everyone's good. How are you doing? You all right, are you, Scott?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm getting a bit of cabin fever setting in now, if I'm being honest, though.
But you're keeping busy doing your videos, don't you, on a daily?
Yeah, well, I ain't done one today. I thought I'm taking a day off today. I've just been chilling, playing some Panzer Dragoon, the remake on the Switch.
Well, you're not really taking a day off because you're here now tonight, and I do appreciate that.
Well, yeah.
So I thought if we got Mr. Sega Zombie on, we'd keep it Sega themed. So I'd add someone else who's very much big on his Sega, and he's been on the tubes a long while, and he's very active. So I'd like to say I've got two guests tonight, but I'll class it as 1.5, and you'll know why when you see this man. It's Mr. Gruss Newton. Say hello.
Greetings. How are we? Good evening, everyone. Welcome.
Introduce yourself. Tell everyone who you are, what you've been up to.
I'm in isolation. I've done nothing all week. Going stir crazy, and I'm growing a homeless beard.
You're looking a bit rough around the edges, Gruff. I thought this was new profile pictures or something you were going for.
No, it's just my new homeless look I'm trying out. I'm trying to grow a beard after 37 years. It's just not going well at all. Just look like a ginger homeless man.
Oh, for fuck's sake, it's Gruss. Hi, Gruss. So
I can't hear Scott for some reason.
Has he said anything?
No.
Can you hear him?
No, his intro. I couldn't hear his intro.
Well, you couldn't because I had you backstage. That's why.
Oh, fuck's sake! Oh, all right.
We were talking about you, not to you.
Right, that's fine. Sorry, I didn't realise it was that professional.
Can you hear me now, Gross? I take that as a no.
Can you hear him now?
No.
You can't hear him?
No.
I'll tell you if he says anything good.
Go on, man. I'll just keep quiet.
Yeah, we'll do that. Hang on, Scott. I'll just drop you back out and back in, see if you can hear you. Talk now, Scott. Can he hear you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear him? No? Don't worry about it. We'll soldier through it. I'll let you know if he says anything good. Put some headphones in.
Sign language.
Right, well, we'll start with Scott anyway, being as Russ can't hear him, and I'll tell you if he says a good story. You've obviously been locked down like the most of us for the last couple of weeks. How have you been coping? Obviously, I've watched your videos you've been doing daily. There's you and your kids locked in, and you're in a new area now and stuff like that. So just how's things in general like in your area, and how have you been coping and what you've been doing?
Well, I live really in quite a rural part of the UK, so you don't see anyone around here. So me and my daughter have been going on a few walks and just been concentrating, playing loads of games. I've got all these games sitting on the shelves, and now's a brilliant opportunity to play them, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, I've certainly been playing a lot of games while I've been locked down. To be fair.
There's so many Mega Drive games that I haven't played for years, and it's just been really good doing the daily videos using the brain and just picking them out. And, you know, once I've shot that film, I'm playing them all day long.
The big question is, have you got bog roll?
Yes. Yeah, I've got 6 rolls left.
What ply we talking? We talking 2 ply, 3 ply?
It's only Aldi, probably 2 ply, is it?
Oh, not the best stuff. So
Yeah,
we'll ask Russ. You've obviously been locked down. Me and your good friend Lee have been worried about you. Have you been coping well? What have you been up to?
What, since Monday?
Well, we're worried about you every day on an hourly. Me and Lee are doing rota checkups on you. I've got the next 2 hours.
The biggest thing with me is, and this is probably the same as most people, I need a routine. I need a routine to get me through the day. So by me not going to work, I just sit on settee and just watch hours and hours of Netflix and occasionally play a game. And as you know, I tried out Forza Horizon 4 on my Xbox, and I played a bit of Red Dead. And I've downloaded that Warzone thing. But I'm still waiting for a pound.
Yeah, if you don't know, Gruss is too tight to pay the £1 for a month's trial of Xbox Live. So if anyone got a £1, you can post it to Russ. Lick it first, just in case you've got COVID, and give it him, and he'll come and play online with me and Lee.
Unfortunately, I'm only doing contactless, so I can forward my PayPal address if need be.
Isn't it on your Patreon anyway? Anyway, we want to know how
Yes,
Frank is. We've got people in the comments that don't give a fuck about you.
Come
We
here.
want to know how Frank is.
I'll get him now. Come on.
I know Lee will be very interested. He's not allowed to comment though. He's only listening on his headphones. Is Lee? What are you doing to that poor dog, Russ?
There we go. He's here.
Oh, he looks all right. We were worried.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, he's scaring him.
Don't like it. I still can't hear Scott though.
He's not said nothing. That's why.
Well, I know, but when you were talking a bit ago, I can't even lip read.
Can't you lip read? I'll tell you if he asks you anything.
All
He
right.
probably won't. All right. So,
Yeah, but
you're both obviously big Sega fans. I'll ask Scott first. How did Sega come into your life? You know, what's your journey? I know you've probably told on your channel, but there might be people here who've not heard your story. So what's your gaming history?
It was a family holiday to Skegness, Butlins.
Skegness for life.
Yeah, and it was probably 86 and Outrun. My dad took me into the arcades. There was all these kids surrounded this red sort of like massive arcade machine. The tune was pumping out, and yeah, I was mesmerised from that moment on. The blue writing of Sega, you know, that was it for me.
Skeggy is definitely getting some love in this stream. That's for sure. Every night.
Vegas.
So, Russ, what was your first experience of Sega? Not so much your history in gaming. What was your first experience of Sega?
My first experience of Sega. Well, as many people in the stream back in the day, you didn't get to really choose, did you? Because it was all down to your mum and dad. Were it going to be Nintendo? Were it going to be Sega? And I remember, I probably told this tale before on my channel loads of times, but I remember saving all my birthday money up, and I was determined to buy my cousin's NES. And my mum gave me extra, and I went across and bought it because he lived across the road. And I remember got the NES, it was boxed with Super Mario Brothers. I think it was Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt on the same cartridge. Got it home, and then my dad came in and said, "You can't have that because the games were like 40 quid." And at the time, we had an Amstrad CPC 6128. You could, you can go down to Microphone in Market and get a game for like £2.50 on cassette. So my dad made me take it back, but then my mum bought me a Master System out of catalogue. So that rocked up. Master System 2 with Alex Kidd built in. And then my dad turned around and said, "No point in getting that because that's obsolete." So that went back. Now, this makes me dad sound like a bit of a twat, but it's not. So then he took me down to Curry's, down at the local shopping centre, and he went down and bought me a Mega Drive. So yeah, I got Mega Drive with Sonic. So yeah, that's probably my first. Well, that is my first Sega interaction.
So you didn't do too bad, really. You started off nearly getting a NES, and you ended up with a Mega Drive. I'd say that's a fucking pretty good upgrade.
Yeah, NES, Master System, and then upgraded to a Mega Drive.
So obviously you're both Sonic fans as well.
Yeah.
I can see you've both decided to put your little Sonic in. What's your favourite Sonic game? I already know what Gruss is. Which one's yours? What's your favourite Sonic game of all time?
It was always Sonic 2, but Sonic Mania is my favourite Sonic game.
Oh, it's Gruss. I'll tell you what he said, because that look on your face. He said his favourite was always Sonic 2 until Sonic Mania come out.
Sorry.
You're having problems there?
Yeah, just having a big problem.
What are you doing?
Problem. I put this bottle of Budweiser in freezer, and then I've took top off, and it's literally exploded. And I'm having to hold the top on the bottle of the Budweiser.
Right, so you're having a little bit of premature ejaculation of a Budweiser. Is that what you're telling us?
Frank's not happy. He's run off.
Is Frank now covered in Budweiser?
Why is it doing this?
Doing what?
Just exploding.
Show us. We can't see.
Show us. We want to see, Gruss.
Yeah, we might be able to see you.
I'm trying to hold top on.
Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth. You'll be all right.
Oh, it's shooting out everywhere.
So while Gruss is having problems, we'll discuss Sonic Mania. Why do you think it's superior to your favourite before Sonic 2?
I don't know, really. Sonic 2 will always be my favourite, obviously, the nostalgia. I said Sonic Mania just wind Gruss up a bit, even though he can't hear me. But yeah, no, you can feel the love in Sonic Mania. You can tell that's done by people that love the series.
Stu said you need to neck it now.
What's that?
Stu says that Gruss needs to neck it out. So he's opened that Budweiser and now he's going back to his Lucasade.
No, because it's like frozen. Oh my God, it's everywhere. Jesus Christ. Proper
this is why TNT went down the tube, innit?
Oh, it's all gone Pete Tong. It's absolutely all gone Pete Tong.
Done some tallying. I think you've won YouTuber of the Month. We'll get onto that in a bit. So, Gruss, Scott says Sega Sonic Mania is better than Sonic 2. How do you feel about that? Because I know you're a little bit of a Sonic 2 fan.
That's incorrect.
Okay.
That's incorrect.
Tell us why that's incorrect.
Oh, man. It's gone off, hasn't it? Can you even tell that I'm playing Sonic 2 behind me? Because that's not Sonic 2.
No, it's not. It says Donnie done it or something at the top.
No.
Or... Bunny. What is it then?
Bunny. It's a character from Sonic Cartoon. From Sonic Saturday AM. If anyone's familiar with it. Sorry, this bottle of Budweiser is just
fucking drink it.
I can't drink it because it's got that much pressure in. It's just blowing the lid off, and it's just
put
like
frozen Budweiser. Just put it in your mouth, and then if you shake it a bit, it'll all come out.
Oh yeah, it'll come out all right. It'll kill me. Sorry, what were you saying about Sonic 2? Why is it the best game? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Scott only said Sonic Mania to wind you up, but you both obviously love Sonic 2. Why is it the best?
No, I like. I did enjoy Sonic Mania, but for me, it's the whole nostalgia thing. So it's always going to be number one for me. But Sonic Mania is a good game, but I'll always go back and play Sonic 2. It's like I just bought the Sega Ages port on the Switch with Sonic 2. But even then, I still prefer to play Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It just plays better for me because it's not a perfect game. It's quite glitchy in places, and it's quite rough around the edges. So when you play like the Sega Ages port, there's stuff that happens in, especially like Chemical Plant Zone. You can get away with it in Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive, but in the Sega Ages port, it's just a bit unforgiving. But that's why I like Sonic 2, because it's just it takes me back to when I was about 11-year-old at Christmas. That's when I got it. So yeah, but I do like Sonic Mania, but I've not played it in ages actually. So I really need to probably sit down and have a playthrough.
I know you've got an iPhone, but have you ever played Sonic 2 on the Android? It's the definitive version.
I have, yes. It's quite a good version, that. Quite a good version. It's Christian Whitehead again, isn't it?
It
Chap
is,
who
yeah.
did Sonic Mania. And he's put in the, what's it called? Hidden Palace Zone in Mystic Cave, in the bottomless pit in Mystic Cave. When you fall down, it normally is just a row of spikes, and you lose your rings and die. But in the iOS version, an Android version, it takes you to the Hidden Palace Zone. So, yeah.
So have you played it as well, Scott?
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's really good.
So would you agree with Mr. Turner's comment that may be the definitive version?
Nah. I still say the Mega Drive, the same reasons what Gruss has just said. The nostalgia wins, doesn't it? You know, that's what we grew up with, Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive. So for me, that'll always be the best.
Is that you eating your beer?
That's me eating my Budweiser.
Yeah.
After I've lost
Sonic
everything
out of the equation. Out of the equation, right? What is your favourite Sega game besides a Sonic game? I'll go with Scott first.
That's a tough one, that is.
Well, that's why I fucking asked you. We don't pull punches.
So Sega on any format, yeah?
Sega on anything. It could be an arcade Sega game. It could be a port of a Sega game to a modern system. Anything.
Outrun.
Outrun, yeah? Arcade Outrun? Tell us why.
Outrun.
Tell us why. Why do you like it? Are you buying Cinny Steve's or was that an April Fool's joke?
No, I definitely want Cinny Steve's. It's just, it was so ahead of its time. When that game come out, there was nothing else.
I wish I could hear Scott talking.
It was
like I'm on my own.
And it's just a straightforward racer. It's a driving experience is Outrun.
Scott said his favourite's Outrun. It's like a driving experience. There was nothing else like it at that point. It blew his mind. So what would you say? Outrun in the arcade. Outrun in the arcade. Yeah, you can choose anything, any Sega franchise you like.
I'm going to say Streets of Rage 2 because it's a game that I always go back to. In probably years ago when I first got my Mega Drive, in fact, when I got my Mega CD, and I got the Sega Arcade Classics collection, limited edition, even though it wasn't that limited edition. I played a lot of Streets of Rage, but then I remember going around to my mate's house and he had Streets of Rage 2. And that it blew me away, just with everything. It just seemed a better game. And then years later after that, Matt saw Funk Retro. I think that's his favourite game. And he came around a few times and I've been around his, and we've always played Streets of Rage 2. And as a two-player game, or even as a single-player game, it's absolutely fantastic. And it's great to just pick up and have a quick blast. The music's great, all the references, everything. Great game. Great game.
I'll agree there, man. Two great picks. So while we're talking about Streets of Rage, like when I ask a question, I'll go to Scott first, just because I know you two can't hear each other. Have you pre-ordered Streets of Rage 4, or what are your feelings about it, Scott?
I've gone against my morals. I don't usually go for this limited run games, but because of Streets of Rage 4, I have, and I've gone for the limited edition, which I'm kind of regretting that now. But
what you needed a couple of extra boxes, did you?
Well, I just got all excited and see the Genesis case and thought, yeah, I'm having that. But then, the reality sunk in and I thought, hold on, I'm paying all this money for 2 extra cases.
And what system have you gone for?
The Switch, Nintendo Switch.
The Switch.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Russ? Have you gone for Streets of Rage 4? Are you pre-ordering it?
I'll be honest with you, I'm on the fence with it actually. I don't know. I've not pre-ordered it. No. I never really pre-order a game, if I'm being honest. But I will get it. I'll get it on the Switch. Definitely get it on the Switch. But I'm not sure with the the art style they've gone for.
They've gone for like cell shading, ain't they? Sort of.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping that they're going to do what they did with Monster Boy, where they gave you the old retro look, so you could flip between modern and retro graphics.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'm kind of hoping. I don't think they will, because I think they would have introduced it in my trailers. But yeah, I think they should have stuck with the old pixel art rather than
there's plenty enough games that have gone down that direction, and they're still using the pixel art, and they all seem to sell well. So yeah. I myself, I've not decided on whether I'm getting it yet or not. Again, like you, Russ, I'm not too convinced on the art style, because they've given the last some right chunky thighs on it, if you've noticed.
Yeah.
So, is that all your input? Yeah. Steve's quite concerned that you're drinking energy drink and that you're drinking beer. He said you'll be whizzing off your tits tomorrow.
Well, luckily I've got nothing to do, so I'll be fine.
So what we can talk about now is, while we've got Steve in the room, because he's very important. Scott, you're a former YouTuber of the Month winner.
Yeah.
I personally think you should be hosting it currently. Did you enjoy your experience being YouTuber of the Month? And obviously, are you going to help me if I win YouTuber of the Year and fucking host it? Because that's my plan.
Yes, I did really enjoy it. It reintroduced me with YouTuber of the Month, because after Pete Armar sort of like stopped doing it and it went over to America, I kind of lost interest in it. But I was really, really honoured to be nominated by Retro Bear. And it was great to win it. I really enjoyed working with Do You Nerd. They were really good. And yes, I'm well up for hosting it with you if you win it.
Oh, well, I'm going to go for I'm going to go for hosting it for the year, and then me and you will do it together, because I believe you should be currently hosting it now. And I'd much rather have worked with you, if that's true. And while we're on YouTuber of the Month, and we've got your campaign manager in here currently, Russ, Steve. He was my campaign manager. I sacked him. He became your campaign manager. Do you think he's got the job done, and this will make you a two-timer, won't it, if it is?
Well, I'm still awaiting for official confirmation from the guys over the pond. But Steve reckons I seem to have got it in the bag. I don't know how, because I don't think I really deserve it, if I'm being honest. But
well, as the person who put you forward, right, I will put my state on it here, right. I nominated you and I nominated Antapa because both of you, right, had took time out of the YouTube, and you've decided to come back, and the videos you were putting out were better than some of the ones I've been watching, And obviously, when you've been out of YouTube, I don't know how long you've been out for. I know Ant's been out for 2 years. People might have forgot about your channel, and I was more or less returning favours what you two did for me a long time ago when I first started, to let people know you were back. And I thought you were both two channels who deserved that recognition. That's why I nominated you both. And obviously Lee, who, Lee puts a lot of work and effort into his channel, and he also deserved to be up. So that was my thoughts on it. So the fact that you don't think you deserve to be up is bollocks, really.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Obviously, I had I think a year out, probably just over a year actually. But it's weird, because when I won it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. And it was the time when I just got into YouTube, so it was all brand new and everything were all new and shiny. But then when you nominated me again, I were a bit skeptical. But no, all I'm going to do now, if I have in fact won it, I mean, I don't want to say that I have, but if I have, then I'm just going to use it to nominate 5 tubers in the community. And as you know, as we spoke about before in your previous streams, is like a new generation. Almost of YouTubers that have come in and injected some fresh blood into the community. So I'm just going to use my my YouTuber of the Month power to nominate 5 tubers, and hopefully get it back over to the UK. And definitely think that you and Scott should be hosting it next year. Definitely, 100%.
100% agree there that it should come back over this pond. And if everyone plays the game correctly and only nominates 5 UK YouTubers like we're doing, that should very much be the case. It's
coming
out.
home. It's coming home.
First thing I think is I know we've discussed it before about like how it was discussed on the Sega sessions how they increased it to 3,000 YouTube subs.
Yeah.
I mean that's difficult. Like even someone like me, I've only got 370 something like that. For me to go up against anyone even with 1,000 or more, you're not going to win. You're not going to win, and it's meant to be to let new people know about fucking new up and coming people or people who haven't got the recognition that they've deserved over time. People who just float.
It was designed for little channels, wasn't it? That's what it was designed for, wasn't it? When I used to years ago.
But
it was
that's
designed for small YouTubers.
And then once you get noticed like that, whatever will happen. So first thing, I'd be fucking scrapping that and bringing it back down to 1K like it's always been before.
Definitely.
Yeah, 1,000 subscribers. Yeah.
To get 1,000 subscribers now is a real grind. I mean, Gruss, you've been around a long time. You've built it up over time, and so have people like Cybersnake7 and Tootie and that. You've been on the tubes a long time. For someone to hit 1,000 subs now without doing some major arse licking or fucking buying some subs, it's a proper grind.
Yeah,
it's a proper grind. So as I've said on my stream, the only reason I want to is because it'll then give me the ability to stream from my phone, which is something they took away from you. If you don't have 1,000 subs, you can't stream from your phone, which is a bit shit.
Yeah, they probably clamped down, aren't they? The whole YouTube.
Yeah. I almost think they want the little channels to fucking give up at some point.
Yeah, it's like all this. What's this thing that started New Year? This copper. Has anything become of that?
Not that I know. So I just mark everything of mine not for children because I swear all the fucking time.
Yeah, so, but I've not gone back and changed all my old videos. I've just left them. The only stuff the new stuff that I upload, it asks me now, is it for kids? I just said no. I've not changed any of my old stuff. Oh, well, that's it, Scott. There's just me and you, so I'm gonna have to learn sign language. Have you got a pen and some paper?
No.
Sorry about that. I was fucking about with the comments. Can you hear thingy now? Can you hear Scott?
No. No, we still can't hear each other.
I thought I might have fixed that. That's what I was doing on 100%. So while we're talking, do some topper videos, Dave. I will never do topper videos. I might do one of the top 10 biggest arseholes on YouTube. I think it'd be a fucking greatie. The trouble is, well, to be honest, I might do like a top fucking 9 or something just random. But it's going to take me a good year to whittle it down to that many. I mean, Gruss, you're ranked about 10th. You could put some work in and get yourself into 9 if you really put the effort in.
Which way are we going? Yeah.
Top 9 arseholes. You're pretty close.
Want to be like number 1? Or are you working in reverse order?
No, there's some way above you. You're small fry.
I was once. I think I was the second or third YouTube legend, as according to I think it was gold back then. Gold, platinum, drone collector.
Tony, yes, I know Tony. A question for Gruss, but I'm going to say it's a question for both of you, really. With a lot of us newer tubers coming in recently, do you think we could grow, or are we lost to the crowd? That's Griffo's Retro Gaming. What do you think? I think the time of becoming a massive tuber is gone, to be honest.
It all depends what you want from it. Like when I first started, I just saw YouTube as like an extension of the hobby. I'll get back into playing games. I'll get back into collecting, setting up all my consoles, and then I moved into here, first house, and I set all the games room up, and I kind of had a place to film stuff, and I had stuff to film and document, so to speak. And I never expected to get anything from it, really. I quite like filming stuff and doing a bit of editing on my phone. But for me, the main thing with YouTube is the social side, going to the events, meeting people, and yeah, I mean that's all I use it for, really. And obviously I had a year out and I came back, but it's like you don't need to be doing videos all the time to be to exist on the social scene. Like you can rock up a market or an event, and there's people there who've probably not done videos for months on end, probably a lot longer than I've been doing, and everyone still knows who everyone is. But it all depends what you want from it. If you want to be a big, massive YouTuber, then it's just down to hard work, isn't it? And consistent uploads, and you can go down the whole super high quality stuff or keep it nice and simple. I've always kept it reasonably simple. I've always done stuff from me just on my phone, really, and I just use. I think you used to use it as well, Scott. That iMovie.
Yeah.
I know you used to edit videos on your iPad. Well, that's all I've done, and then I got into live streaming, and it's just like interaction, and it's just like as you get like 30, 35 onwards, it's just a great way of, without sounding dodgy, meeting like-minded people, and having a good laugh, and it's we go to these events, and it's just a massive bit of a piss up, really. But I think it's great. It's great.
Definitely a massive bit of a pistol. Scott, I'll send the same question to you then. Do you think these smaller channels will get lost in the crowd, or if they will grow?
If people have got a personality and they show a passion in what they're talking about, people will watch them. At the end of the day, I agree with a lot with what Gruss was saying. I got into YouTube solely for the community. I started on Facebook. I set up Retro Round and Galaxy Sega and Game Zone Bird Room.
We'll be mentioning Game Zone Bird Room in a minute, but thank you for the comment. So yeah, if you just want to finish that, Scott, because we'll get on to what you were talking about, just YouTube.
Yeah, I started with Facebook, built the communities on there. I had people like Gruss and Pete on a retro tip, and Scott, Sega Saturn lad, speaking to me saying, Scott, do YouTube, show your collection, get on there. And, that's why I've done it. And I've loved every minute of it. If you enjoy putting content out and sharing your passion and your hobby, then what does numbers matter? To me, subscribers and as long as people are watching your videos, I suppose. And that's all what matters to me.
Nave says, if YouTube shut tomorrow, I would be happy in the fact that I met so many genuine and awesome people who I speak to outside of the platform. I can also reiterate that,
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
I mean, I'm just doing this stream here now. Is before everyone here because we could all go a little bit stir crazy if there was nothing to do, enough to watch. This is keeping everyone together, like everyone who's in the comments and everyone who's talking. I'm not trying to become a fucking star. I couldn't give a shit. I love my son and everything, but I'm not here to become a star. I'm here to talk and get on with people, and the interaction is the biggest part of YouTube for me. Biggest part. I'd rather have a smaller amount of subs and more views and more comments and more people interacting than anything else. That's what means the most to me.
Yeah.
But while all three of us are here, because I think all three of us have mentioned this channel at some point, I want to say hello to James. I've read his name's James from some comments from Game Zone Bird Room. Thank you for the love I've been getting on my channel. Not a problem, mate. And what I will say is you're welcome to come on this stream. I would like to have you as a guest. And I just think it's brilliant what you're doing, mate. You obviously clearly don't take yourself too seriously. You're having fun with your channel, and that's what it should all be about. I'd rather watch 100 Game Zone Bird Rooms than over some fucking dickhead who's trying to do a high quality production. That is what I will say.
Definitely. Hope you get well soon, James. I know you put that video up yesterday about kidney stones. You got a bit of an infection, so hopefully you get well. Get well soon, mate. Look after those birds of yours. And we were talking before we went live, and I used to have an African grey parrot, so something in common. One small little bit in common there. Get well soon, pal.
Yeah, get well soon.
Enjoyed your Dreamcast video as well. Your top 10 Dreamcast video.
I only hear Scott, but let him talk as well, yeah?
What was that?
I said, I know you can't hear Scott, Russ, but do let him talk as well.
Sorry, I can't. I'm not far away from the camera.
I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you. You were talking briefly, Scott, about Facebook groups. Now, I'd love to know the story behind that, and like that's more or less how you came into doing YouTube. Obviously, like you just said, but was that like your first venture into the community, obviously, or as you say, community?
Yeah, my Suffolk accent.
Yeah.
No, it all started with a Sega group that went toxic about 5 or 6 years ago. A group I absolutely loved, and there was so much good coming out of that group, but unfortunately it went very toxic. There was a lot of bad comments, bad stuff going in there, and I thought, hold on, we want a group with people that can talk about retro at Sega at the time and get rid of all the bullshit. We all know what bullshit can be on Facebook, and we just set out a group with the morals of, you know, we all are here for one thing, and that's to talk games. And that's what we done. We set up Galaxy Sega, and that took off. And then I thought we need another group, but that's not just Sega. When we kept the same morals with that group and set up Retro Realm.
Yeah, so if you just want to mention like both the groups, that's Sega Galaxy and Retro Realm, innit?
Yeah.
So Steve's just said if you leave the stream and then click the link again, Gruss might be able to hear you. So if you can just do that for a sec. So I'll move you out, then if you leave, and then I'll add you straight back in. So Russ, you're active on Facebook? Are you in any of Scott's groups? You don't really buy and sell though, really, do you?
No, I just tend to post aliens quotes. People put problems up about tuning RF cables in. I just best way is to take off and nuke the whole site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. That's what I tend to contribute.
So are you a fan of the RF connection? Because we've got Dylan in the comments, and I know he's not a fan of RF. He's into all these fancy fandangled fucking new cables.
Is Chris or Gav in the comments?
They're not. Chris or Gav aren't in here. They don't come in this stream for some reason. I don't know if they don't see it.
Well, yeah, years ago we had a bit of a long-running joke. When they were called what were they called? Chav.
Team Chav.
Team Chav, that was it, yeah.
Team Chav,
we had a bit of a running. Can we hear Scott?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, there we go.
Hey, they can talk to each other now.
Oh, it was shocking before. We might have a bit more interaction now.
I tell a lie. The age of nerd.
The age of nerd. Rush frequency. There we go. Yeah, we had a bit of a long-running joke about RF, and I think Chris did a video on one of his channels about his setup, and it was brilliant. He like put all his RF cables together, and then he tied a piece of string to it, shoved it all down back of his TV, and then he was pulling his string up, and he's like, "Oh, this switch is for my Mega Drive, this switch is for my SNES." And it was brilliant what he did. But yeah, I'm into my Scott leads.
You've got quite an impressive setup for your stream, though, Russ. I've seen it. It looks like a fire hazard waiting to happen.
Oh, about the cabling behind my cabinet.
Behind your cabinet?
Yeah. I tell you what, though, it's hard work streaming proper hardware. It's a lot easier nowadays because you can just use a Mega Drive Mini or a SNES Mini and just load it up with emulators, and it's all HDMI. But to get the Mega Drive working, a real Mega Drive, it's a lot harder than you think. Especially trying to get everything in sync, and you have to run it through a SCART to HDMI, and then HDMI to Elgato capture card, and you get your microphone, and you got bloody OBS Studio. They're a nightmare. A lot easier from
OBS
main
can be a little bit tricky. I know that. But what's it called? With doing this sort of stuff's quite easy. I'll keep it as simple as this. So, do you both own a Mini?
Yes.
You own a Mega Drive Mini as well, Rush? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Japanese one.
Yeah, same as me. Question: do you think they're any good? Because I'm on the fence about it. Russ can go first.
I put mine back in box, and it's behind cupboard. Keeping it for the future generation. I don't need it though, because I'd still rather play on my Mega Drive. I personally, I quite liked it. I got the Mega Drive Mini and the little Mega CD Tower of Power with the 32X. And it looked fantastic. It really did. I think that was the first video I've done after like a 12-month hiatus. But yeah, I thought about setting it up downstairs, and I thought about setting NES and SNES up. But I've got it all up here. It's all here. It's like, you can't see it, but it's all outside of me. And for me, it's just easier just play on real hardware on a CRT rather than on a big telly downstairs. But
how about you, Scott? How's your feeling? I just think there's too much input lag on the controller. I don't think it's as good as an actual Mega Drive.
I agree to a bit. It weren't until I was homeless for a while and without my game set up, and all I had was the Mini, and I was playing that loads, and it weren't until I was playing that loads that I realised that there was a bit of input lag. And but I still think it's the best Mini. That might just be me being biased, but I think the selection of games is the best.
Yeah, I'd agree there.
And you can see that they really put a lot of thought into it. I really think that they really done a good job with it. And it's not for us, really, is it? We've all bought one and it's all in our collections, but we've got a Mega Drive, we've got the games. These are for dads out there being bought them for presents and showing their kids what they used to play, which is kind of like the style of video I done on it when it come out, is, showing my kids playing the Mini. Because they really enjoyed it. They thought it was brilliant. So,
yeah, I agree. I mean, my minis are probably like Russ's. They're glorified ornaments now. I probably won't play them, but they've certainly brought the current generation of children and obviously casual gamers back into it. They've probably, with the NES and the SNES, they've plummeted the prices most of the games. Not really had the same effect with a Mega Drive.
No.
So,
yeah, they're certainly better than the Act games one, weren't they? I mean,
fuck me.
they kept tuning them out. They were shocking, absolutely shocking.
They were shit.
Fucking, they kept flogging them as well. Them Act games, didn't they? Pumping them out different variants.
Every 6 months, or a different one, weren't there? Did you ever see the Sega Reactor one? They're like
Is that the one with the Wii controller?
Yeah, with the mouse.
Oh god, I had one of them. I sold that at one of the Doncasters.
Then there were the blue Sonic one with the like hedgehog shaped controller.
Yeah.
Oh, shocking. But yeah.
Have you got one, Russ?
I've got one, yeah.
Of course you have. While we're talking about minis, if you could pick any mini to be made that's not been made, what one would you want the most, and what would be your top 5 games to have on it? That's a question I've thrown you there, and you both need to think, don't you?
Yeah.
I would go for a console that I haven't got.
Go on there.
That would be the FM Towns Marty.
Please.
The console of that.
You got to pick 5 games you want on it there.
Splatterhouse, Chase HQ. Oh, there's some good shooters on there as well. There's some really good arcade ports on the FM Towns. Your mind's gone a bit blank now.
I'll come back to you for 3 more. Gruss, go on. You look like you're the man who's made a decision.
I would say Sega Dreamcast.
There's a couple in the comments who agree.
Sega Dreamcast. I go with Sonic Adventure, Crazy Taxi, probably Zero Gunner 2. 2 more into it. 2 more. I'm trying to think. It's hard, isn't it? Trying to pick 5 games. Come back to me. Let me have a think.
You've got 3 more to pick. Everyone's saying an Amiga Mini.
Oh, yes. No, I'm changing my mind. Amiga Mini.
Oh, fuck. Go on then, Amiga Mini. 5 games, go.
Speedball 2. There's so many. But it would be Speedball 2. That would be a Pidia. Walker. The sort of like Ed 209 shoot 'em up game. That's brilliant. Monkey Island. Day of the Tentacle.
So have you got 2 more for your Dreamcast? Someone in the comments is saying Power Stones, Gruss. Power Stone.
Yeah, Power Stone. And I'm just trying to look at me Dreamcast games. Godzilla Generations. Fantastic.
It's a
game.
random one to throw in there.
Fantastic. Have you ever played it? Oh,
No, I've not.
I remember going into W.H. Smith probably when did Dreamcast come out? 99 or 98?
99, wasn't it?
99, wasn't it? So back in 98, I just left school and I got a job. And I remember going to W.H. Smith and I was reading the Dreamcast magazine. I think it was either the preview issue, or issue number 1. I had quite a fit bird up front, I remember. And I remember looking at this Godzilla Generations game, and it had a green Sega Dreamcast VMU. And I've always been a big Godzilla fan, and I thought, if that comes out, I'm going to buy a Dreamcast. Never mind Sonic, I wanted it for Godzilla. I don't think it ever got an official PAL release. So then fast forwarding years later, I went out and I bought a copy of Godzilla Generations via Japanese import. And I've got to say, what a game. What a game.
Well, here's a question.
Shocking.
I want to see that on your stream some point then.
I think I should stream it because it's that. I remember playing it. I remember putting it on and I watched the intro and I played it. And I don't know if I would have been disappointed back in 1999, but I was disappointed in bloody 2009, I'll tell you that. It was shocking. Really, really. In fact, not 2009, probably about 2 or 3 years ago, I picked it up for like a 5 or something. Yeah, Godzilla Generations. If anyone's in comments has ever played it, I don't know. It's a bit of a niche game. And I'm pretty sure it were a Japanese exclusive. The green VMU.
Well, we've got a question. With you being Sega fans, what's your opinions on the OG Xbox Sega titles like Jet Set Radio and Panzer Dragoon? I never had a Saturn. I only had a Dreamcast for half a year, so which is why I asked. So, I don't know, have you played the Xbox versions of these Sega games, either of you?
Yes. Yeah, I've played them both. They're both really good. Sega really did support the original Xbox in its early days, and a lot of people think that that's kind of like the Dreamcast to the Xbox. But yeah, no, they're both really solid. Panzer Dragoon's awesome on the Xbox. Sega GT's really good on the Xbox as well.
Do you think Sega went down that route to try and stay as far away as helping Nintendo winning any further generations after a little bit of bitterness for going out?
Yeah, definitely. But they were quite strategic because they were putting different games out on all the systems, but the original titles seemed to be going to the Xbox.
Didn't Sega have some kind of didn't Sega have some kind of wanted a Microsoft system on Dreamcast?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Windows NE, was it?
Yeah,
Windows NE.
Did they have some kind of deal with Microsoft? That's why they released so many Sega games first on the Xbox. I think I remember reading.
So, yeah.
This is where we need Pete Armour to ask, because he'd know, wouldn't
he? He'd know, wouldn't he? Yeah. I remember buying an Xbox. I think I was off work at the time. We had a bad back. And I remember
never gone back since.
What?
Never gone back since.
I went back eventually. I had to because I were addicted to playing Need for Speed Underground 2. In fact, it might have been Need for Speed Underground 1. But yeah, I actually got a twitchy eye from that. So I basically played it for like 2 weeks straight and just didn't go to bed. Just played Need for Speed. And yeah, I love that game. And that's pretty much all I played on Xbox. It was just Need for Speed. Well, yeah, great
system. Did you say Need for Speed Underground 2, was it? Did you say?
It was Underground 1 or Underground 2?
Underground 2, I reckon, because that was a class game.
Was that the one with, was it Exhibit or someone who done most of the music?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
Yeah, I used to play that on the PS2, man. That is a very underrated game, I think. That should definitely be anyone's collection with a great soundtrack as well.
Very, very addictive. I think I've got it on PS2. Yeah, I have. It's down there. I can see it.
Right, so I've asked you both a bit about Sega. We're going to move on to Nintendo. I'll start with Scott. What was your first experience of Nintendo or a Nintendo system?
Oh, really early on, the NES.
The NES. So why did you move away from the Nintendo then to tell us about that? Why did Sega become your love over Nintendo?
Well, I can remember going into Debenhams as a kid, and they had a gaming floor in our local Debenhams, and it was like they had the Nintendo all set up with Russian Attack, Rob the Robot. They had everything in there, and they also had like a Play Choice 10 style kiosk where you could go in and play the games. And I can remember playing the games on that, being pretty impressed, but I always wanted a Master System. That's, solely because of Outrun and Space Harrier and all the great arcade games. That's why I went personally with Sega. But my brother was a Nintendo fan, and he got the NES. So in a way,
does he have a channel called Nintendo Zombie?
No, he don't.
Can everyone search and sub to him, please?
Nintendo Zombie.
How about you then, Russ? Obviously, you had the NES briefly, but what was like?
Yeah, I think I had the NES for about a day. Then that went. But I did actually have a Game Boy. My sister had a Game Gear, and I went with a Game Boy for some reason. I used to play a lot of Tetris, a lot of Super Mario. So I had a Game Boy for years and years, and then I upgraded it to a Game Boy Color I upgraded it to a Game Boy Pocket, and then I upgraded that to I bought the Game Boy, I pre-ordered the Game Boy Color from Special Reserve magazine. You'll know, won't you, Scott? Special Reserve, like a mail order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pre-ordered the purple Game Boy Color. So that must have been 98 when that came out, because I bought it with probably one of my first wages. And then I never had a SNES. My mates had a SNES, but quite a few of my mates had Mega Drives. And then I followed the N64. I loved the N64, the whole build-up. I remember watching it on Games World on Sky One. And I used to tape all the news reports about the N64. And I probably still got it somewhere on a VHS, even my dad's, about Super Mario 64. I remember playing it back and showing my mum saying, I need an N64. But I never bought one. And I've never owned one to this day, actually. And then years later, the Nintendo Switch, which is, well, it's Nintendo and Sega all rolled into one, really, isn't it? With all the indie games and the best of both worlds.
Oh, well, we'll get on to that now. So I was about to ask you both, what you're both Switch owners. Would you both say that was that's your favourite Nintendo system?
Yeah, hands down.
Why do you think so? I personally don't really class it as a console, although mine's permanently docked. I think it's a hybrid, and I think probably Nintendo would agree, but Nintendo get handhelds right.
Yeah, well, they've taken the market where they were so successful with the Game Boy, the DS, the 3DS, and they tried to do it with the Wii U, and that didn't quite work. And I think they just went back, rejigged that format, and come out with the Switch, and that really has worked. It's great to play in the hand, and I really enjoy it on the TV as well. And like what Gruss said, there's so many indie games and so many great retro style games that it just keeps me hooked on it. It really does.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's my favourite Nintendo console. It's definitely up there, and it's kept Sega alive, and it got me into modern gaming when I got hooked on Breath of the Wild a few years ago.
I remember you doing the videos on that. I used to watch that stream, and I'm not a Zelda fan, but I enjoyed that.
Well, do you know what? I didn't think I would be, because I remember watching Chris's streams when he was known as the Zelda Collector, and the game had just come out, and he was streaming it on Sunday night, and I watched a few streams, and I remember him saying to me, "I don't think you like it, Russ, because it's a bit too open world." But I don't know. I thought, I quite like that. And one came up for sale, Switch, and it obviously came with Zelda and a few other games. and I picked it up and I started playing it on a Saturday night. That were it. I was absolutely hooked, and 335 hours I've put into it. But for me, my favourite Nintendo console, probably down to nostalgia again, would be the Game Boy Pocket, because it were in between, obviously in between the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. But it would have been, I'm trying to think how old I would have been back then. But I think I remember buying games for it and going into Dixon's and W.H. Smith and stuff like that and buying games and being quite aware of the whole gaming scene. And one of my mates, he had one at school with a link-up cable. We used to go into school and play Tetris. So yeah, and I got a Game Boy Pocket a few years ago with the screen upgrade, and it's great. I mean, I still play it now. I still play Tetris DX. In fact, I've got even though it says Game Boy Color, but when this came out for the Game Boy Color, they're absolutely fantastic. But it still plays great I'm on a Chrome, Game Boy Pocket. Yeah,
I love the Game Boy. The original Game Boy was probably one of my favourite systems as well. I played the hell out of that. Scott, you kind of mentioned there about the indie titles on the Switch. I think now a system is probably judged as much for what indie games come out for it than the AAAs. I personally think that.
Yeah.
Do you think indie games is the way forward? Scott, I'll ask you first, man.
It's kind of like the gaming sort of industry has gone full circle. If you go back to the 80s and you had all these small developers and bedroom developers making all these games for the micros like the Spectrum and all that, and it's kind of gone back to that. These smaller companies will take a risk, make a more sort of out there game sort of thing. To me, games is an escape, and all this realism, all these first person shooters, I know they're loved, but for me personally, all the realism in PlayStation and Xbox and all the first person shooters, it don't interest me. But these small developers, they're doing more niche genre games and, bringing back point and clicks and shooters and platform games to an extent. And it's just great to see. And yes, bringing it right back.
What about you, Gruss? How do you feel?
I'm same as Scott. What Scott says, I've never been into, apart from like Zelda a few years ago, I've never really been into modern gaming. And I know you keep getting me to play Warzone and all that lot. I'm still waiting for me.
Which you've yet to do.
I just don't think it'd be for me. I think there's too much going off. There's too many buttons. I'm used to a 3-button Mega Drive controller. I mean, eventually I upgraded to a 6-button. But with the Switch, it's brilliant because with the indie games, they're all retro, aren't they? The good majority of them are retro, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like Sega lives on, but on the Nintendo Switch, and I just love playing some of the indie titles on the Switch. Have you played Miami? What's it called now?
Is this the one that Pete picked as one of his games of the decade?
It is a good game, that on Pete's list. What's it called now?
That's Miami Summit, where you run around shooting everyone in the fucking...
Yeah, Hotline Miami, isn't it, that? No, my mind's gone blank now. It's a bit like Grand Theft Auto, top-down perspective. I forgot what it's called now. Totally
You're not on about... Summit City Rampage.
That's it, yeah. There's the first one was
Retro City Rampage.
That was the first one, and then the second one was
the game you're trying to think of. If it comes up in the comments, I'll put it up.
Somebody will say in comments, won't they?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like you guys, like, when all these AAA games come out, like Spider-Man and stuff like that, I'm just like, nah. Like, I've noticed on Facebook today, a lot of people have... Hotline Miami, I think that's what Darth Steve said. Don't think it's that one though.
No, that's that one that were in Pete's top 10.
Yeah, like a lot of people got excited about Final Fantasy today and Resident Evil 3, but none of them really. River City Rampage, is it? No, that's really old game from the 80s. That is. But yeah, I mean, I've never been a Final Fantasy fan myself, anyway. But I do try and look for the more indie games, like even something like No Man's Sky appealed to me more. I know that game got absolutely slated and got sorted out eventually, but it was just something different to what I played before.
Is that
Whereas,
the one that had loads of updates? Like when it first came out, it was like quite.
it weren't finished, was it? It weren't finished when it was
There was
released,
pretty
and
much
then
nothing to do other than
yeah,
they did loads of updates. Yeah.
yeah.
But
But
that probably appealed to me.
enjoyed that game. But at least they didn't give up on the game.
Yeah, they carried on with it, didn't they?
Yeah. Bedroom Rampage 2 Disaster. I think that might be a joke.
Bedroom Rampage.
Russ hasn't played that one for a while.
No. I'm trying to swiftly move on and change subject, but I still can't remember what it's called. Is it Tropic?
Is it Tropic now or Miami?
It's something Miami Tropic Rampage.
Miami Tropic Rampage.
Somebody must know in comments. It came out probably 18 months ago. I'm sure it's Miami.
UK Rampage. That was a wrestling event. What the fuck? Was it just Rampage by Atari, Cinny Steve?
No, it wasn't Rampage. No. Somebody must know in comments.
I'm getting a theory here. If I don't ask you Sega questions, we're pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
What I do want to ask is, you've both got, although you're both Sega fans, you've both got very contrasting collections. Scott, you've got games, whereas you've gone away from that route. Rush, you ever drive anything? You know,
yeah.
So Scott, we'll get to Scott first. What's your goal with your collection? Where are you trying to head with it? Are you going for a full Mega Drive set? Is that 100%?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I want a full UK PAL Mega Drive set. And then it will just be going on to the Genesis exclusives and the Japanese exclusives. And then I'll be happy.
Get down away. There we go.
Fucking is that? He did say that, Horatio Van Basten, but he said sorry first, so I thought he got it wrong. Like, so Shakedown Hawaii. So it had nothing to do with Miami.
Nothing to do with Miami.
Nothing to do with Miami. Nothing to do with the bedroom
or Rampage. It was a shakedown.
Like that.
You might have a shakedown in the bedroom.
Shakedown Hawaii. Nothing to do with Miami. Nothing.
So, Russ, you obviously did at one point have a collection of games. What made you go down the Everdrive route? Did you just think, you know what, I don't need all these games anymore?
I've still got my original 10 games, probably 10 or 12 games for my Mega Drive. And then when I got back into it, I started buying loads of Mega Drive games. And I got quite into it, actually. And then, because I'm a bit of a gadget freak, bit of a nerd, when I found out about the Everdrives, well, this is fantastic. So you're telling me I can put every single Mega Drive game on a little tiny SD card. And I obviously got an Everdrive, and that just killed it. It just killed the whole collecting. And I remember prior to that going to Leeds Retro Market, and I picked up a few games. But as soon as I got the Everdrive, it just killed it for me. Because I remember going up to the store, looking at all these games and thinking, well, there's no point in spending 20 quid because I'm a bit of a tight arse. Because I've already got that on Everdrive.
A bit.
So, yeah, he kind of ruined it for me. But what I will say is watching people such as Scott and Big Game Al and many other people on YouTube who have done the whole full set collection and all that lot, especially recently watching Big Game Al and him going through every game on the shelf in the nice clear bag and all that, or the baggie, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know, it does appeal to me, that, but I think I've left it too late now. It's just it's mega money, isn't it? It's mega money to collect it when I've got it all on.
Is that where you class yourself more as a gamer than a collector now, then, Russ?
Yeah, I've probably never really been a collector other than like collecting Sonic related stuff. I've done everything. I've done it all. You know, when you start YouTube, you tend to buy crap and everything just to. Everyone's done it. Everyone's been guilty, I'm sure. Just to do a pickup video, and then you cut down on it all, and then you kind of have like a bit of a focus. But yeah, I'm more into the technology side, so I went down the routes of getting a decent CRT set up, Because before I had the B&O, I had a massive Sony Trinitron at my mum and dad's. And when I moved here, it's obviously got this little games room up here. I thought, there's no way I'm going to get a Sony Trinitron up those stairs, up that loft ladder. So, in fact, that's how I got into YouTube, because I Googled best retro TV for retro gaming. And
we're going to stop you there a sec. We're going to stop there a sec, right? Because we'll talk about your fucking Bang & Olufsen video now. Fucking, if any of you buy a Bang & Olufsen, right, don't fucking Google Gruss Newton's fucking settings for your telly, because he fucked mine right up.
I did tell you, though. I did tell you to write it all down first.
Well, I fucking didn't, did I? But you do wear a lovely you wear a lovely pair of pajama bottoms in that video. Lovely pair of... Is that the video with the pajama bottoms, is it?
Pajama bottoms?
Yeah, you got like pajama bottoms on, your pajama bottoms on in that video.
Are they shorts?
No, they're long ones. They're like tartany patterned. He's going to say he's still fucking got them. Gosh, that video's about 4 years old. I thought he was just joking how tight he was. He fucking still got them trousers.
What are you saying, long ones?
They're them ones, isn't they, that you're wearing?
These?
Yeah?
No, they're different, man. They're different.
They're not. They're the fucking same pair, you tight fucker. They're the same fucking pair.
This is my loungewear.
Loungewear.
My decade-old
loungewear.
Yeah, I've been wearing them a long time, these. A long time.
So anyway, I'll let you carry on with your story about the Bang & Olufsen now. Now I've took the piss out of you a bit, because I've been holding it back for a bit.
I forgot where I was now. Yeah, so I Googled best retro gaming TV, and it were Future Map 5. If anyone's ever watched any of his videos, fantastic YouTuber. I don't know if he's watching, but he's done a few videos on the B&O, and he's made a bit of a comeback, and he's done quite a few like chance for the win. Instant fave. Respect. I've totally lost my train of thought now. Yeah, so that's how I got into YouTube, because I was off work with a broken foot, and I just Googled best retro TV for retro gaming, and that come up, and I thought, you know what, I want a retro gaming TV, because back in the day, everyone had little TVs, didn't they? They were like, what was the biggest TV you had when you were a kid?
I had a 32-inch widescreen. I remember when Mum and Dad let me have that.
What year was this?
Well, I'm younger than you. Don't forget, TVs were more advanced when I was probably a little bit older than you.
You're not that much younger than me.
How old? Tell everyone now.
What about you, Scott? How big was your TV when you were?
Well moved on there, Russell.
Well, going back a number of years, we had the old teak wood ones, you know, with the dog.
Oh yeah.
But no, the first TV I bought myself, that was probably a 28-inch, I'd say, not a 32. I wasn't that rich.
What about in your bedroom though? Did you have a TV in your bedroom for your games?
Oh yeah, I had a black and white one with the aerial on the top. And you had to
black and white
to tune it in.
Fucking hell! What year were you born, Scott?
I was born in 1976.
I'm glad you added the 19, because I thought you were going to
I didn't think you were older than me, Scott. I thought you were younger than me.
Oh, he's happy now. He's chirped up now. He's happy to tell ages now.
You were born in 76?
Oh, I was.
Oh, yeah, really?
I've just got a baby face.
I've just got a homeless face. I do remember going around to my nan's house, though, and taking my Mega Drive, and the only TV she had upstairs in the room was a black and white one. I remember playing Sonic 3 Special Stage, and it would just be really impossible, because obviously the blue spheres, blue and red, it was just impossible. I think that had the aerials coming out of the top.
I remember the first, because I used to share a room with my brother who was a bit older than me. We used to have one of them ones with a wooden frame on the outside and the fucking dial knobs to tune everything in. That was a nightmare to hook anything up, and the picture was fucking horrible on it. But I did eventually get that 32 inches or so. I remember buying that off Mom's catalogue, but That would have been. I'd have been doing my paper, and then so that would be 97 to. Oh, it's probably more like 97 to 2000 era. I got that fucking TV. It was the cheapest one you could get. It was like fucking Bush Special or something like that.
Oh, Bush and Alba wanted back then.
Bush or Alba? It could have been Alba, yeah.
Alba.
Put it this way: there's no one with one of them in their games room with as the best telly in the fucking to use. That's for sure.
I always remember my sister one Christmas. She got an Alba CD player, and I think I got something really crap compared. Like you always used to get a lot of presents and then one big present, and her main present was this Alba all-in-one mini CD player. I can't remember what I got, but I wasn't happy anyway. And she used to be playing bloody Spice Girls CD in full blast. So you should bang on wall like mad. It used to jump and skip all the time. Yeah, banging on wall. Because it didn't have like anti-skip or anything like that. It was useless.
I remember having a fucking really small like Alba CD radio thing, and the fucking speakers used to slide on the side of it. Cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
This fucking probably empty can weighed as much as that thing. Like you say, there was no whatsoever.
There was no in it, was there?
What a cheap fucking mate they were, man.
Are they still going?
Are Alba still going? I think they are. I think they're an Argos franchise now, isn't they? Argos sell all their shit.
Alba and Bush. Yeah.
I was watching the stream. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments. So did you have any cheap shit like that as well, Scott? Any cheap shit Alba back in the... Oh.
Yeah. I can't remember what make it was, but I was in a similar boat. I had a really crap ghetto blaster. That again, if you touched it, the CD used to jump.
Yeah.
Oh, so annoying. And like if you turned the volume up just to blast the tunes a bit, that would jump the CD as well. It was that bad.
Yeah. Technology, yeah.
You've not got a Bang & Olufsen, have you? You've got the Sony BVM, have you, or PVM?
Yeah, I've got a Sony PVM, Triniton, and I have got a B&O, but that isn't set up, yeah.
Have you ever actually looked how much one of them costs brand new?
Yes.
Like a Bang & Olufsen?
Yeah.
I used to have the one on the rotating fucking stand, like with the pointed speakers. And I looked that up, and it was like $3,500, brand.
Yeah, a lot of money.
I was like, fuck that, I'd rather have had my Bush or my Alba.
Yeah.
I think this one behind me were about £1,200. Like this come out in like 91, 92. This would have been about £1,200 back in the day.
Yeah.
Fucking literally, whenever I've picked up 3 B&Os. And wherever I've gone to pick them up, it's like always like the richest of rich areas, and they've had them knocking around in the shed forever or the garage for ages. It's probably the old man saying, "I spent fucking $3,000 on that in 1993. We're not getting rid of it yet."
Yeah. But,
so, go on. Sorry, what is your both plans for YouTube, Russ? Are you going to carry on with the GRS? Are you getting back into your streaming? What? Are you doing your Game Master magazines? Is it you do?
I'm just going to plod on. Really, I've got enough magazines to get through to last me the next couple of years. Really, but main thing
but
for
only
me is
one of them can be put on YouTube, Russ.
Well, yeah, there is that. I'll have to go on to my second channel. I'll put it on my second channel.
Is that Russ Newton After Dark?
It's just Gruss Newton 2. Nice and easy to find. But yeah, I'm just going to carry on with live streaming, or try and get back into it and keep a bit more consistent. I've got everything set up ready to go, so I've had a bit of a tidy up today. And
I think you need to find another game like Breath of the Wild, because I think you were really on fucking tune when you were doing that stream. That was a good rhythm for you.
Well, I'm waiting for Breath of the Wild too. So
I do believe Chris.
He did. I watched it today.
He did a video today. So if any of you are interested in Breath of the Wild, Age of Nerd, check out his video. He's got some rumors that he's exposed today. What about you, Scott? Because like obviously you are the most enthusiastic person I've ever met on YouTube. So when you came back to the tubes, I was buzzing, man. And you come back at the right time for the community. I think, man, everyone's been given a lift by it, man. So what's your plans? Obviously, after lockdown, once world goes back to normal.
Once the world goes back to normal, a series I was really looking into doing, and I was working a lot behind the scenes of doing it, was a series called the 16-Bit Wars, and it was going to be rivaling Nintendo with Sega. And I was
anyone who can be asked to be doing that before Scott, that's your chance.
But yeah, that was sort of like where I want to go back to that. I want to get back into that. But once we got the lockdown out the way.
Oh, bloody hell, lockdown.
Yeah. I've got a question for you, Russ, and sorry, Russ is only going to be the one involved in this because TNT, it was your group stream back in the day. What happened to it, and is it ever going to come back? And can I be on it?
TNT, I think Homeless Coogan deleted the channel.
So what happened down there? And tell people, because there's a whole new generation of YouTubers.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? There is.
Got to experience the TNT.
So TNT, the Northern Tubers. I don't know how it all started. It was just like a small group of us that used to meet up at these events and retro markets, and we decided that we're going to do some regular live streams. And we did. The first couple of live streams we did were all right. We had a bit of a topic to talk about, but then it just turned into a live stream piss up.
Yeah, that's what I used to love, man. That's my inspiration doing this. So who was on it, Russ? Who was on it? Tell us the lineup, because there was different people every now and then.
Yeah, we used to get a few people on. I think Pete Armour's been on one. I think we got Pete doing some Northern impressions. I think we played a game where we got people on. We used to send them links, and they could only stay on the stream if they talked in a Northern accent. As soon as they spoke normally, we just kicked them off. I'm sure that's what we did. I'm sure we had Pete on, and he was speaking in a Northern accent. It was good. But that was in the good old days of YouTube.
You're already feeding him on this topic now. So just come on, tell us who was on there. There was Woodlin on there. I loved Carl, man, and Carl was one of my favourite channels. Odds control on the streams, except for when he was asleep. Remember that one when he went to sleep?
Yeah, he didn't like that, did he? He fell asleep.
You're fucking funny there.
Like that. But yeah, he actually used to read comments for us
on his phone, saying him to wake up.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we had Steve on. Steve likes to stream, doesn't he?
Steve loves to stream.
Steve loves to stream. It's not really a retro gaming channel. He likes his. Is it Nike shoes he likes?
Nike Trainer Freak, I think his channel's called.
Is it Nike?
I thought it's Dunlop.
Could be Dunlop, yeah. He did that video where he went round. He went round Hush Puppies, didn't he? Did you see that video series he did? He went round Hush Puppies, and then he did a follow-up where he went round Wins the World of Shoes. He was just trying on all those shoes. But yeah, we had Steve on. There was Matt Soulfunk Retro, who said he no longer does YouTube anymore.
He needs to come
and
back.
You should do. If you're watching Matt, you should really make a comeback.
Definitely.
Now is the time. Obviously, Lee, Retro Gaming Addict. You've been gamed. What else we
calling all nerds.
Calling all nerds. Calling all nerds. It keeps
Cushion seller. Cushion pusher.
Who?
Lee the cushion pusher.
You know, I'm still waiting for. I ordered a cushion for my camping chair 5 years ago. Still on back order. It's not coming, is it?
Nah.
And now he's called Homeless Coogan. You what?
He's selling his t-shirts now. That's his main drive, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's going for the t-shirts.
He's probably in garage making some bloody knockoff Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something. Probably remolded them.
Is there any inkling to come back? Because it was good. It was funny. I don't care what anyone thinks.
What, the whole TNT stream?
The TNT stream is an entity. I don't think, like obviously, Woodlin's gone, but he might come back. Matt's gone, but like the core of people there, I think
yeah, there's definitely.
I think YouTube needs you because you weren't clean cut. You know, you had a good laugh and you didn't take it too seriously, or the sort of thing I fucking love to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, what I will say though, back then is nobody knew that. You know, people at work, my friends and family, nobody knew that I did YouTube. So it were all right because I wasn't scared of what I was going to say because I knew that people weren't going to find out. But then as soon as people found out that I was doing YouTube, I don't know if this is the same for everyone, but you kind of dial it back a bit because you know, like your boss is probably watching, or your girlfriend, or your mum and dad are tuning in on a bloody Friday night. I don't know. But with the TNT channel, it was like a separate channel to mine. So odds on it being found, you know, through people you work with, it was pretty remote. But yeah, I think there's a market for it if people wanted to see it come back. Obviously, Sega Sessions are still up and running.
I think Sega Sessions needs to be more frequent. One every 6 months doesn't feed the habit.
Sega Sessions were a lot more professional though than us on TNT. We just used to get pissed.
But that's what made it good. That you know,
yeah,
it was certainly very entertaining. I know back then, like I wasn't streaming or nothing like that. I did very few videos, but I was always in the comments, always having a good laugh, having a good time, man. I enjoyed it. You got Big Daddy C. You didn't mention
Big Daddy C. Yeah, Big Daddy C. Fly from his beanbag.
I was gonna say he's another one who's lost seen him on the tubes for a long, long time.
Yeah, he's still floating about in various WhatsApp groups, but yeah, he's not been on the tubes for a long time. And Rob from Finland, Rockstar Runner 7.
I say I remember there was a lad who wasn't English who was on there. Is he still doing YouTube? How did he come about being involved? Because he's much further north than you lot.
Who's that? Who, Rob?
The lad from Finland.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we got talking to Rob, but originally he's probably about half an hour away from where I live. That's where he used to live, and then obviously he moved over to Finland. I think he just commented on a few of my videos, and we got talking. I mean, that's how I got talking to Lee, just through the comments. And it turns out Lee was from Sheffield, and he's like 20 minutes down the road from me. And like I said before, it's the interaction, and you always think that these people are miles and miles away, and most of them are on your doorstep. You know, half an hour away. And people who are miles away, you build up a good rapport with them, and then when you get to these events, it's just like, I don't know, it's like school friends. You just meet up at a bar and have a chat.
I always say it's like going on a lad's holiday without going abroad.
Yeah, definitely.
Meet up, have a few beers, have a good laugh. So you mentioned YouTube back in the day. So, Scott, how long have you been watching YouTube, and how long have you been doing it? Because I'm just thinking whether this question will apply to. Do you think YouTube's changed over the years?
Oh yeah, it's changed a lot. Obviously, there's more people trying to be professional and think they're going to get like a celebrity kind of status on YouTube, and I think that's where the American content has come into it a lot more. When I first started watching YouTube, which was probably 8-9 years ago, I was predominantly watching American YouTubers like Happy Console Gamer. He's Canadian, isn't he? And Metal Jesus when he first started. And then I found out that there was a whole UK scene. And I dropped all the American stuff and was just watching the likes of Gruss, Soul Funk Retro, Pete when he first started his early Dreamcast collecting, and Tootie, Stu, all of them. Right when they first started, I was watching them guys. But I've been on YouTube for about 3 years now, I think.
Yeah, it's longer than that, isn't it?
I thought you'd been on longer than me. I mean, I started and stopped, but I thought you'd been on longer than me, to be honest.
It might be 4. It might be 4 years. It's 3 or 4 years I've been doing it.
Flies, doesn't it? Time just flies by.
Yeah.
See, what I'll say, I was like you. I used to, like, when I first started, got told I should do YouTube by Ann Harper, I was predominantly looking for UK gamers. I wanted people I could interact with, and like people like Gruss made me feel welcome.
Yeah.
Stu, obviously, everyone really. And once you feel part of it, like, and then you go to events, you meet people in person. It's just like I'm just going to lads who, like, you know, we have a good piss up. So
Yeah.
Gruss, I suppose it applies to you the most. Like, you've been active on YouTube the longest. How do you think it's changed over the years? Like, not just YouTube as a whole, scene, people involved, people who've come and gone. I'd like to hear history in your story of YouTube.
What I will say is, when I first started YouTube, and people commenting on videos, and I were commenting on their videos, I never thought that I'd gain so many friends from it. I never thought that would happen. I just thought it was just people commenting on your videos, and that were it. I never expected to go to these events and go to these retro gaming markets, and it was like a snowball effect. I found that the more people you interacted with, the more friends you made, and it was just a great way. But yeah, YouTube's definitely changed. Like Scott said, there's a lot more people now who come into it expecting to be some kind of celebrity, dare I say. People setting up the Patreon and all that lot. Like I said before, it all depends what you want from it. For me, it's always been an extension of the hobby, and I never expected to make as many friends as I have. And I think somebody commented before about I think it were retro Nath Retro Gaming. He said if YouTube stopped tomorrow, yeah, that were it. If YouTube stopped tomorrow, we'd still all carry on meeting each other at these events. It's just like Facebook, isn't it? YouTube was a social media platform. I mean, back in the day, we used to do loads of VRs, and I know these are coming back a bit more often now. We used to do a lot of VRs. Used to send each other gifts, and yeah, it was just a lot more. I don't know. I don't want to say relax, because I see a lot of that's coming back recently in the last 12 months or so. The new generation that's coming through, they seem a lot more relaxed, and there's a lot of banter going off, and that's what I like. I like the banter, and I like the piss taking, and just the general interaction. I like all that.
I always say, if I've never took the piss out of you, it means I don't like you.
Yeah.
So Russ, I must really like you, because I take the piss out of you a lot.
You did. Yeah, it's very heightist.
Well, they're only short jokes. I like the long ones.
What did you say?
I said they're only short jokes. I don't do long ones.
Hey, there we go.
So we've mentioned the events, man. I mean, I've had some great times with you, Russ, at the events. Scott at Revival just gone. It's gutting that Arcade Club didn't happen, because I was really looking forward to that. Here's a question. No sooner this lockdown's over, obviously we're probably going to need a couple of months for people to financially get somewhere on the feet. Do you think there's going to be one big piss-up organised? And if there isn't, it fucking should be.
Oh, we've got to do something's got to be arranged.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know about you, but I go to Arcade Club to hang out with you guys more than I do to go and play the arcades.
Yeah, I spend more time in bar, especially Bury.
Bury? Where's that?
Bury? Where's that?
Bury, not Berry.
Bury.
Bury. It's got a U in it. It's got a U in it.
Yeah, I know.
Bury.
But you don't bury someone in the ground.
We've had this conversation before, haven't we?
Not with you, I haven't. It's the first of it.
We've had this conversation before.
Oh, we may well have done that.
Must be a northern thing.
Yeah, you can't talk properly, probably.
Because you're from Midlands.
I am a Midlands lad indeed.
Anyway, when we go to that place near Manchester,
yeah,
we spend a lot of time at bar. In fact, last time I went to that place near Manchester, I think me and Lee, we didn't even go into arcade. Or if we did, it was literally like 10 minutes. We just stayed.
Is that when Steve was the barman?
Is that when what?
Is that when Steve, Addy Sneaker Freak, was the barman?
It was, yeah. When we
Beer
went back to the
gate.
hotel.
Yeah, beer gate. Yeah, we won't talk about the stories about you, Russ. I'll avoid them from YouTube.
No,
where you probably offended every woman in the place near Manchester.
When I was doing what?
When you offended every woman in the place near Manchester.
Well, yeah, I think I just had a bit too much to drink that night. That were all. I'm not normally like that.
Really?
No.
How about you, Scott, man? Because obviously you came to Revival, man, and it was fucking brilliant to see you, and you seem to have such a good time. If there's someone here in the fucking comments who's never been to a gaming event, sell it to them, mate. Sell it to them.
Oh, definitely.
Revival is all about community. It's the most welcoming event I've ever been to, you know, and just everyone mingles and talks with everyone. And it's just so relaxed. It's just such an awesome event. I've gone to the last 3 revivals now and thoroughly enjoyed them all. Really, really good.
Revival seems to be the one that is like very more retro based. It's definitely retro based, more community based.
I think it's because it's a lot smaller, isn't it? Where they've had it before at that where it football ground, wasn't it? Yeah.
Also, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, we do make the annual pilgrimage up to Blackpool, which probably isn't going to happen this year. I do enjoy Blackpool. Have you been to any of the other play events, Russ? I've only been to Blackpool.
I've been to Blackpool, Manchester, a couple of times. In fact, Manchester was the first one I went to.
Okay, tell us about that. I'd like to know your experience of meeting up with other tubers, because like you're what I class as the old guard, so it's more people meeting you these days than when you were first meeting other people.
So Manchester 2014, I think it was, first event I went to. And I remember speaking to Matt Salfont Retro, and he was back when he was selling his pixel artwork.
I've got one up here.
You still got my picture up there as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I've got that one of Matt's. And then I've got the drawing that you want.
Yeah,
up there, which I will get down. It's yours.
That is original artwork there. Don't mess
These
up.
like colouring in.
It's what?
So anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so I think I bought some artwork off him, and he said, "Oh, I'll." I think it was Supersonic one I wanted, and he goes, "Oh, I'll meet you at Manchester." And I goes, "All right then." And I remember going to meet him, and I felt a bit nervous actually, because obviously I've never met the bloke before. And I took my mate Ellis, and my mate Ellis, he's always a bit sceptical about meeting strangers. So I remember being at queue, and we got in queue outside Manchester, and these 2 people wandered in front of us. Sorry, they were already in the queue, that was right, and we joined them. And they both turned round to us, and they were like dressed in, I don't want to offend anyone here, but they were dressed in gaming-related clothing. And they turned round to us, and they just like kind of said something really slowly, like, "Where have you come from then?" We're like, "We've come from near Sheffield." "Oh, where's that?" And my mate Ellis, he looked a bit awkward, so I basically looked behind me and I just said, "Oh, well, Matt's there, look." And we just walked out of the queue. We waited 5 minutes and then rejoined about 10 minutes later, because it was just a bit awkward. But yeah, we got inside, moving swiftly along. I don't want to offend anyone. Gotta be careful, aren't you, at this day and age? And,
no, not on this channel. You can offend who you like, as long as he's not fucking me, because I'll remove you.
Fair dues. Yeah, so we went to a bar, we bought a couple of drinks, and Tootie were there, actually, Stu. And he recognised
Stu
me.
at the bar?
Stu at the bar.
No, never.
And he bought,
no.
He did. He bought me and my mate Ellis, a couple of pints of Jamaican, is it Red Stripe? 2 cans of Red Stripe? Yeah.
Red Stripe, yeah.
He went all out and he bought us 2 cans of Red Stripe. Yeah, and we had a good chat. We had a good chat at the bar. That was my first. I was a bit starstruck actually, because obviously I recognised him from watching YouTube, but I was more astounded that he recognised me. So it was a bit weird, but I suppose that was the breaking the ice moment. And then anything after that, it was normal. It was just when you were meeting people off YouTube, it was like meeting people from work or meeting people from school. Once you get rid of the initial meeting up business and all that lot, yeah, definitely.
I think everyone remembers.
What were it like when you first met me, Dane? I know you
Do you want to know the truth?
Go on.
Oh, fucking
Go on. I'm ready. I can take it.
I thought, doesn't he look fucking little in person?
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm taller.
And then I remember that night you did me a shout out. It was at one of the Donny markets. And you must have been stood on something because you were stood up in your apex up there. You must have been stood on something. I thought, he tries to make himself look fucking taller in his videos, he does.
I was stood up.
Yeah, you were stood in the apex, like where you've got that candy cab there. What, you've got the twist tops in you, that's your problem. But to be honest, right, I'll fucking happily say it on the air, and everyone who I've had on, I class as a friend, but I class you as a good friend, man, and I always enjoy seeing you at an event and having a good laugh. It's never a fucking shit event we're around, mate. But I do fucking hate having to look after you all the time. It's fucking Coogan's turn next time. What about you then?
Hair back though when I'm throwing up.
Fucking, you don't need that hair pulling back anymore, do you? How about you?
This for a few years ago, man.
How about you then, Scott, man? What's your first memories of attending an event or meeting other tubers? Because it is a surreal moment that first time you meet.
Yeah, it is. I can remember walking into Revival a few years back and meeting Stu to UK for the first time.
Was he at the bar?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't at the bar.
On the way to the bar.
I remember seeing. I can't remember who was it. I see someone, and I went to walk that way, and then all of a sudden, I just got this big bear hug of Tootie, and I stood there talking to Stu, and then it was Alex Nintendo Arcade, and two channels I watched so much, and yeah, we ended up at the bar having a few beers, and yeah, absolutely fantastic, and like what you guys have said, you really make some genuine friends, and to me, that's what it's all been about.
Yeah.
That's that step up to doing YouTube, then going to these events, meeting these people, and they're all genuine people. And I've made some really, really good friends. It's been brilliant.
There's not many people, I couldn't even fill a handful of people I've met and spoke to. I think are arseholes. So I think that says a lot for either A, how they get weeded out, or B, there's a lot of good, genuine people in the community in the first place, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
There's not many wrong uns, should I say, or bad uns. I've not had many bad experiences, and that's only a good and positive thing.
I think you tend to find the bad uns, as you put it, they kind of just disappear, don't they?
Yeah.
They just hang around for a bit, try and cause a bit of trouble. And when they realise no one's taking bait, they kind of just get bored and disappear.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's trolls that hang around and stuff like that. The best thing you can do with people like that is just ignore them, and they'll eventually fucking go away or get the hint.
Don't feed the trolls.
Don't feed the trolls.
Don't feed the trolls.
So, Russ, that candy cab, that's not a candy cab. You said that's not a arcade.
That's an original Turner arcade. That
is it. Talk to me about it.
That's an original Turner arcade. Craig Turner arcade. That I went to his kitchen in 2007 to pick that up.
Fuck, tell us the story, man. I mean, Craig will love to hear this. If he's not in the comments still now, he'll watch this back.
That is a one-off because he designed that to fit in my my loft in my mum and dad's. With the apex of the roof. It were a cut-down, slim version of his slim version cab that I already had for sale. And he kind of redesigned the back. You can't see the back of it, but the back of it's sloped in a certain way so that it would fit under the the apex of the roof.
So do you have to stand up on that unit there to play that?
No, I can sit down and play this. I can sit down because I'm
Show me, because I can't quite understand the dimensions. I want to see how you get up there and play it.
Well, I have to bring up a stool from the kitchen, and I climb up the stool and I mount the stool, and then I can play it.
You've used the word stool.
And mount.
No, you can't see, but there's where the TV is at the side of me. That's on a cabinet.
Yeah.
And then this arcade machine is stood on the cabinet.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I thought you had to stand on that cabinet to play it.
No. You can stand on the floor
and reach up there. I can't believe. I need to see it. I need to see it.
I'm not standing up again because you see me loungewear. That's what you're after, isn't it?
No, my head cannot get round how you stand and play that machine. It does.
Yeah, you can stand perfectly because the apex of the roof lines up with the cabinet.
Right.
So it's quite good. It's quite good. But yeah, that's an original Turner arcade from 2007.
So Scott, I'm sorry to freeze you, but there's a story I've been itching for Russ to get onto all day because he promised he was going to tell me about it at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I discussed it. So what happened at Asda today, Russ? I need to know the Asda story.
Oh, horrendous.
Because for those of you who don't know, Russ is actually petrified by this COVID-19. And you know when he was showing you all underneath his units where he got all his boxes, that's where he's been staying on an evening. He's got a bed set under there.
For 3 days I've been under there.
3 days? What prank?
No, I've always been a bit of a germaphobe. So I've always try and keep clean. And during this crisis at work with all the social distancing, and people at work don't seem to understand that. So I've just kept away from everyone and used my hand sanitizer and done all that. But anyway, today I had to go out of the house. I had to go to, I went to the timber yard first, then I had to package some stuff up, and then I've sent a gift to a local tuber if he's watching, sent some wood out. And then I went to the... You just got that, yeah? You just got that. Then I went to Asda.
What the fuck was Russ going to the wood yard?
Oh, it's
I need to get Chris on to tell that story, actually.
That's a different story, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a different story.
That's a bit of a joke. That between you and me, no one else knows that. But yeah, I posted something off at the post office, and I used my Apple Pay on my phone like 2 times because I used my Hermes. Then I went to Asda, and they've got this bloody one-way system in Asda, so it took me absolutely ages because you had to follow it all the way around. And I had my little list on my phone, what I was getting. Got to till at end. I had to queue like 2 meters in the queue. Got to till, and she scanned everything through, and she went, right, it's £50. So normally before, I've had no issue paying with Apple Pay on my phone. She goes, how are you paying then, love? I went, contactless, please, on my phone. So she goes, all right then, just scan it through. I goes, no, I've got to wait for it to come up on screen. She went, no, you just scan your phone. I went, no, I've got to wait for the little contactless symbol to come up. Oh, I've pressed it a few times. Anyway, she messed about with it, and she pressed this button, and it popped up, and I scanned it, and it said unauthorized. And she went, oh, it's because there's a £30 payment limit. So I goes, well, I've not had this issue before, and Apple Pay is unlimited. Anyway, this little old lady behind me in queue was waiting patiently. She's like, have you used your Apple Pay before? Because if you use it so many times in a day, it locks you out. You'll have to use your card. I goes, I've not got my card on me, love. I said, I've been to the post office. I've had to post some wood. And she's going, you'll have to use your card. I said, I've not got my card on me. I said, I don't carry my card because I've got bloody Apple Pay. So this woman behind till, she's going, well, I'll have to refund you half back and do 2 transactions. So I goes, all right then, we'll do that. So I take half of my shopping back out of my bags, re-scan it. By this time, I've literally got 20 people waiting in this queue all the way down Asda. And you know when you can feel people just glaring at you, and I don't even look at the queue.
Why hasn't this cum got cash on him?
Exactly. Well, they don't take cash, do they? At minute, they refuse to touch. So she scanned off it back in. She went, right, it's come to £29 now. I went, brilliant. So she went, just scan your phone. I goes, I've got to wait for it to come up on screen. And she couldn't grasp what I was saying. She's going, no, just scan it. Do what you need to do, scan it. And I got this little old lady outside of me saying, have you got your card on you, love? I goes, no, I've not got my card on me. So that manager got involved. And before manager got involved, she goes, I'm gonna have to void it all. And we'll have to put it back on shelves. I'm like, what is going on here? I said, I'll tell you what, I'll leave my phone, I'll drive home, and I'll ring up off at house phone, and I'll pay with my debit card. We can't do that, love. We can't do that. So by this time, this queue's getting longer and longer. I goes, you're going to have to get your manager. So manager come. And I tried explaining it to manager, and manager woman come round, and she's like, show me what you're doing. I goes, look, it's not coming up on screen. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's not coming up on screen, is it? So they had to print this receipt off. I had to follow her past all these people. Well, there's like 50 people at this point. Past all these people to this other till. And I managed to pay £29 on my card. And it turned out there were an error. There were an issue with the card reading machine. It wasn't working on that till. So I must have been trying to pay for my shopping for about half an hour with about 50 people just staring at me. And this woman got till she was banging out all these £1 vouchers. Sorry about that, love. Because she was like trying to blame me. When it was bloody contactless reader thing.
So
yeah,
what else was that? Just in case anyone who was in that queue is in the comments.
You what, sorry?
What Asda was that? Just in case anyone in the queue was in the queue is in the comments and they want to tell you.
One in Rotherham at Parkgate.
Also, Chris, you've got a little nick nose there. What's happened there, mate? You were scrapping in Asda, was you?
Oh, that's where. Oh, on my nose.
Yeah, show everyone.
Can you see?
Other side.
Oh, it's because opposite. Yeah, that's when a little old lady behind. She can turn around. No, that's from yesterday.
You must have been a little old lady.
She was 4'9".
Giant.
She were a giant. I felt like we're in the land of the giants. No, I drove through a bush on my bike.
What did you do that for us?
Try and take a shortcut.
Is that beer still frozen, Russ?
Got like icebergs coming out.
So Scott, have you had any sorts of issues with like doing your shopping or anything like that during this COVID-19? What's the weirdest experience you've had? I went to the shopping centre actually. I took mine in. I had to go and get a prescription for the old man. Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't remember. But I think I sent a picture in our WhatsApp group, Russ, of the shopping centre that's usually got thousands of people in. There was just like me. I was like an urban explorer. It was really weird and surreal. So Scott, have you had what's the weirdest thing?
No, it's real. I can't.
It's just rural where you are anyway. Is it? There's no fucker there anyway.
Nah, there's no one around here. I can't rival that, I'm afraid.
Someone's just read old lady's book.
Old lady's bush.
A giant old lady's bush, actually. Sorry. So, are you going to be doing any more gaming? What games are you looking forward to playing while you're on fucking the rest of your lockdown? Rush, you're playing Warzone. You don't need to fucking answer yet. How about you, Scott? What's your next lineup?
I've got that. I want to say Symphony of the Night, but it's not that Castlevania one. Oh,
what system?
On the Switch.
Is it Bloodstained?
That's it.
No.
Yeah,
Bloodstained. I've heard the Bloodstained.
The indie title. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. We've lost him. That's it. So you're watching a GRS Sega Zombie stream.
Guys, it's me when I fuck about with the comments on the thing. Yeah, Bloodstained. I've heard it's a bit glitchy on the Switch. I don't know if they've fixed it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's got a bit slow down, hasn't it?
So I've been told of the PS4 version's probably the best one. Big Game Out wants to know why you're coming on Fortnite, Russ.
Do I need £1 for that?
No, that one you've already paid. This is the man who won't pay £1 to go on Xbox. But how much do you pay to go on the Switch?
Yeah, but there's a story behind that, isn't there? Like I said.
Yeah, because you've not got a headset and the children don't bully you while you're playing Mario Kart 8. That's what Coogan told me.
Don't listen to homeless Coogan. It's direct debit auto renewal.
Oh, yeah, you paid for it for 1 year and then forgot to cancel it.
Paid for it for 1 year, forgot to cancel it. It's auto renewed. A bit like AA, they do it every year to me. Bastards. Bastards.
But why don't you like playing online, Russ? Because Lee's been telling me it's because the young children bully you online.
Hey, at least I'm allowed to play online.
Oh, well, we got To be fair, those you don't know, Lee's very good friends with Russ. You've been gamed. Lee, who stole someone else's called Lee's channel's name, so they're both called Lee and they both got the same channel. He's not even come in the comments tonight when his best mate's on here. And he's not. He's probably sitting at home. He's got to have it in his headphones because he's not really allowed to watch YouTube, is he, Russ?
Is he commenting tonight?
No, he's not written a single comment. We need to. When this stream finishes, we need to message and check he's okay.
I reckon Mrs. is watching a film on telly, so he can still watch his phone.
EastEnders tonight. EastEnders or Coronation Street might be on.
Coronation Street, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's watching some Alan Partridge. He likes a bit of Alan Partridge, doesn't he? Old Coogan.
Did you see the Steve Irwin piss take they did to on the? I don't know. Sorry, I was just reading a really random comment and I saw the word bum. So yeah, everyone's saying that you've got the wrong fucking Bloodstain, Scott. That it fucks up your Switch basically. Where was it? It crashes on the Switch apparently. So if look forward to playing that, Scott.
Oh yeah, I look forward to that one then. I've got Panzer Dragoon to play as well.
You were playing that earlier when I spoke to you earlier. You said you were playing Panzer Dragoon. What?
Oh,
obviously
really
not
good.
the Xbox one that was spoke about earlier.
No, it's the original Panzer Dragoon on the Saturn remake of that.
Is that still? Is that on the Switch? Is it a remake?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was on there. I thought you were actually playing it on the Saturn.
No, it launched a couple of days ago.
Oh, talking about someone who gets told about when he can watch stuff because of soaps. Jay Cybersnake, who was a brilliant guest with says no soaps on tonight, so we really need to check on Coogan.
I don't know what he's doing then, Coogan.
I don't know. I'm quite worried. We definitely need to drop him a message.
I can't believe. Is he popped up on WhatsApp? I've not heard anything from him.
I don't know. I ain't looked at my phone because I'm a good host like that. So anyway, we are stumbling towards the hour mark. So what I'm going to do with you guys, sorry, I clicked comment. Do with you guys, same as I do with everyone else. I'll start with Sega Zombie. Do you have a message for everyone watching? Obviously about COVID-19 and about gaming and whatever. If you've got a message for the people, please send it out. It's message for the community, as Russ say.
A message to the community: stay safe, guys, and mental health. Keep yourself active, busy, and game. Escape it all. Sit down, have a cup of tea, it'll all blow over.
He said game.
Oh,
and watch this stream as well, did you mean to say, Scott? Watch this stream on an evening. So, Gruss, you, Mr. Long-time community member, do you have a message for all our viewers watching?
I will echo Scott's words, definitely about mental health, about keeping active and doing something in the day. But I would like to say, Dainster, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I think you should be the new community leader.
Community leader? Do we have a community leader? Do we?
Yeah, I think you've done an excellent job of keeping everyone out of boredom and keeping the whole community talking and interacting during these difficult times.
Thank you very much. That's appreciated, and it's been great having you both on.
Yes,
thank you very much. So I'm just going to drop you both backstage, do my little ending bit, and we can have a chat after that then.
Marvelous.
So thank you both for being on. Thank you. I've appreciated it. 2 Tums fresh.
2 thumbs.
So, guys, again, we've had 2 great guests on tonight, 2 brilliant lads, Russ and Scott, both Sega fans. I hope we've kept you ticking over again. I'll definitely be back. I've got a lineup tomorrow. We've got 3 people on tomorrow. It's been confirmed. So please tune in at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening when I've got 3 more guests on, where we're going to be drinking beer, chewing the fat, having a chat. I'll be doing, any of you are interested in football, I'm doing my daily live stream of 90 minutes football with West Bromwich Albion. Cindy, Steve, if you could give it a miss, mate, because every time you turn up, I start losing. I'm about to choke on my beer. I've been Danester. This was live from lockdown, and I'll see you all tomorrow, man. Take it easy.